Starburns Audio.
Coming to you live from our houses in Los Angeles, California, it's Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone, your comedy field guide to life. Tonight, the chronic cough. Have you experienced, excuse me, the sensation of your airways becoming pardon me, airways clogged with mucus or foreign particles? And it won't go away no matter what. Well, Paula Poundstone has had a chronic cough for decades. I'm so sorry. And tonight, we have an expert in the chronic cough. Forgive me. We had an expert doctor lined up to appear to share with us how to get rid of the chronic cough, and Paula, for some reason, refused to have the expert on. Damn it, Poundstone, I needed that doctor. Paula will cough up what went down the wrong way with the expert. Plus, ant stories. No, not tales of you social insects crawling all over your picnic tables, but stories of your family's ants crawling under the table. I'm Adam Felber, the man who tries to keep this show's conversation tickling our listeners through the inspiratory phase, tracking topics through the compressive phase, and then releasing the discussion in the expiratory phase. And now, please welcome the woman who specializes in conversational reflux. It's Paula Poundstone!
Hey!
Yikes!
Toot. Hey,
Welcome,
you guys.
Paula.
So nice to be with you and the nobodies. It has been the worst week. Just a lot of stuff going wrong, you know, and a lot of stuff that requires stupid emailing and, phone calls and more stupid emailing and stress. At one point, Bonnie emailed me saying...
Bonnie Burns, your manager, Bonnie Burns, our producer, Captain Crinkle.
At one point, Bonnie Burns emailed me asking me about times when I could meet, on a conference call with her and a guy named John Cohn. And
Not John Combs.
John Cohn, yeah. I was going to meet with John Cohn. And just over the phone, right? And
Right, but I can't get a meeting with John Combs.
No. So I read this email, and so I read the email, and at the same time, I guess while I had been on another call, a message had come in. And so I pressed the voicemail button, and I'm listening to a message. But because I was so addled, I forgot that I was listening to a message. So I hear Bonnie's voice on the phone say, I'm going to email you some times for John Cohn. And I said into the phone, didn't you email me already? And then her voice on the message says, we just need to get this cleaned up. And I said, wait, didn't you email me already? And then she goes, so if you could. And I go, Bonnie, hold on. And then I realized I was yelling at a message.
Wow.
I was so frustrated and angry that and then all of a sudden it dawned on me what I had done. And partly, I have to confess, part of it is because I was doing more than one thing at one time, and I got confused about what I was doing. I was reading emails and listening to the voicemail at the same time.
Multitasking, Paula.
There's no such thing as multitasking. Your brain can only do one thing. That's how it goes. So, lesson learned over and over.
I hope you got over your anger at Bonnie.
Yeah. I figured out that it was me right away.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
I'd like to say.
Bonnie would
Bonnie
like
Burns
to say
is here.
something.
This is a surprise.
Yeah.
Bonnie Burns, welcome to the show. What's up?
I wanted to say about, Paula dogs me all the time about multitasking, and I think it's really okay to multitask. I think when I was younger, I could do it really well. And now that I'm older,
you never did it well because there is no such thing.
Well,
There's no such
I
thing.
Googled it. I Googled it. Your brain can't focus on more than one task at a time.
Toni, why are you Googling?
Well, there she goes.
She's confirming that she... This is a rabbit hole I don't want to go down.
Anyway, here's an example, okay? Just to prove Paula right. because I think sometimes I did do it okay. So
You never did it okay because it cannot be done.
okay. So
Neurological science has told us your brain can't
All right,
focus on two
fine.
things at once.
okay, Bill Clinton could do the crossword puzzle, the New York Times crossword puzzle, and have like, a cabinet meeting at the same
Yep.
time.
It's
Thanks,
true.
Adam.
Okay, you can have
No, not
a
only that,
yes.
Will Shorts told me that he once got to go to the Oval Office and present Bill Clinton with a Saturday puzzle, which is the hardest of the daily puzzles. And he said that Bill Clinton took the puzzle and then took a call. I think it was from like Arafat or something. And so he's on the call talking about policy and doing the crossword puzzle. And Will timed it, and the crossword puzzle took him something like 90 seconds to do.
Okay, but what? Okay, but the brain is switching back and forth from Arafat to. Wasn't that just before we went to war with the Palestinians? Wasn't
Right.
That,
Yeah. Well, look.
yeah. Wasn't that? Wasn't
Nobody
that when
bats
we?
1,000.
Yeah, wasn't that when we accidentally dumped some sort of bomb on the Palestinians? Yeah, that could have been. No, your brain goes back and forth between the two. And
Yeah.
it doesn't focus on two things at once. And instead what it really does is sort of have like a brownout. It's not at its highest capacity on either thing. So if President Clinton wanted to do the crossword, I mean, that's impressive that he did it in 90 seconds, but guess what? He could have done it in 45 seconds if he wasn't on the phone with Arafat.
And it might not have been Arafat. It might not have been 90 seconds. And I'm not sure it was Bill Clinton.
Are you doing something else while you're telling us that story?
I was doing something else when Will was telling me the story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's a problem. That's a big problem.
Actually, it might not have been Will Shorts now that I think of it.
No, it was Barney. It was Barney, the
I have a
purple
great
dinosaur.
idea.
No, wait, I have to do my story, which might not even make the light of day, but since I started it, I'm going to finish it.
I didn't know you were telling a story.
Gall darn it, at
I
some point,
was
Paula's got to
about
introduce our house band, too.
Okay, so yesterday I had a ton of work for Miss Poundstone. Actually, I had to catch up from not having that bad tooth. So anyway, I'm working. It's very intense. We've had
Bonnie had
two
a bad
dogs.
tooth. I don't think the
I
listeners
had a
know
bad
that you
tooth.
had a bad tooth. Bonnie had
No,
a bad
they did.
tooth.
We talked
I hope
about
the
it
listeners
last
know
week.
that we have a house band as well.
No,
Oops.
oh, yeah, hold on. So,
Yeah.
Bonnie,
Okay.
I mean, I'm not multitasking. I am just vainly attempting to somehow manage this zoo that we call a show.
before we go any further in Bonnie's fascinating story, I want to thank tonight's house band, returning champion, Sophie Taft on the Seprewa. I don't know if I'm saying that
Wow.
right. Seprewa, that's a West African harp.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Sophie Taft. It sounds great. Really
It does.
appreciate your being here. I hope that you're not doing anything else at the same time.
So, Bonnie, go ahead.
No, I think we're good the way we are.
No, my problem with the story is that it's based on a false foundation. Every time this subject comes up, you say, well, Paula says you can't multitask. And then we get a confirmation from neuroscience that says, yes, you cannot. There's no such thing. And then Bonnie always goes, well, I think I did a long time ago. You've said that so many times, and every single time I have to say, no, you didn't.
Yeah,
You never did.
I used to.
You never did.
When I was younger and managing you, I used to do the exercise bike. I had a little stand next to me, and I would write on the computer while I was exercising, and your career went great.
So, yes, you can move your legs and do something else at the same time. That's true. Like you can walk, right? You can move your legs. That's why they have that little gizmo now for people who don't get off the couch. What's it called? Like a cutie pie or something?
Oh,
the little
yeah.
bicycle feet thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you know you're going to buy that thing and it's going to go in the closet right away.
I'm not going to buy
You're
that
not going to
thing.
sit there and peddle that. I don't
Did
mean
somebody?
you.
Has anybody that have you ever had like a male suitor who brought you that?
Do you want to hear the story?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know.
I can't wait.
I have no
can't wait to
opinion.
hear the story.
It's
have
not
no
going to
opinion
be
about
that good after this whole buildup. It's going to be not that good. Okay,
I
here
got
it
news for you.
is.
The buildup hasn't been that great either. But
No,
let's get
I
to the
know.
story.
All of it seems bad. Okay, so my dogs have had this problem. I don't like to say the word, so I don't even know how to describe it. They haven't been going to the bathroom in a way that's very firm. Let's just say that. For a few days.
Okay.
If you would
There-
just,
There is a
if
word
you
for
would-
I
that.
don't like that word.
if you had
Okay.
just said
Most sounding
diarrhea,
word.
it would be
I
better
hate
than a
that
whole.
word.
Yeah, but instead you did a paragraph on the
Okay.
on the fluid
All right.
quality of your dog's
They've had diarrhea
stool.
for days. Okay, they've had diarrhea for days. So we didn't want to take them to the vet. So I've tried. a
No,
bunch
why
of
would
things.
you?
No. Well, it hasn't been that many days. Okay.
No, when
so,
your dog has diarrhea, of course you don't want to take it to the vet because diarrhea can be so pleasant for the whole family. Why would you want to take it to the vet?
I know.
okay.
I remember when our dogs used to get diarrhea, the whole family would gather around at night. It was so much fun. Some of my warmest family memories are.
Yeah, it's part of our holiday tradition.
Yeah.
We found that milk bones gave our dogs diarrhea, and so always in the Christmas
Ours
stocking
too.
there were.
Oh, the Christmas milk bone, yes.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
especially
and you
when
know-
they do it like on their bed.
on
Oh.
their bed.
Oh.
Yeah, you know.
On their
on
bed.
little
Took a
dog
dark
bed.
turn.
No, my dogs don't have beds.
Oh.
They do it on their little stove. My dogs have a little stove because they cook. No, my dogs don't have a bed.
All right, so Bonnie, your dogs were suffering from this condition, and what I would have done is
okay.
make them some rice.
So,
I
like,
mean, rice is
whatever they
perfect for
were,
that.
like for 3 days or something. Okay, so then I knew that you were supposed to give them rice. We didn't have rice, so I gave them noodles. They still had diarrhea. Ivy comes home.
But noodles are not rice.
Okay, I know, but
That's not even an approximation. That's not even ballpark.
And then
Yeah.
I thought, like, you're supposed to mix it with, like, I don't know, we had yogurt in the refrigerator, but it was Ivy's. So when I was going to put a little bit of that in with the noodles, then I opened it and it was like yogurt with honey. And I thought, well, maybe a little would be okay. But, okay, they still
minute.
had diarrhea.
With honey.
So your dogs had diarrhea. You wanted to give them plain yogurt and rice, and instead you fed them noodles with honey yogurt?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is again
fuck,
a
Bonnie?
fantastic.
So especially one of them now, he hasn't gone, like it's been a couple of days now. He doesn't even have diarrhea. He just hasn't done anything. So
Well, yeah.
now Ivy
He's
comes
afraid
home,
to
she's-
poop again because you'll give him more of that food.
You
Try
literally
giving them
scared the you literally scared the shit into him.
Okay,
Bonnie,
so now Ivy,
try
my daughter Ivy, what?
Try offering them some of those Butterfingers that you guys made.
Yeah,
They'll never eat again.
Okay, so now my daughter Ivy's been gone for 4 days. She comes home and I told her on the phone, actually I go, you know, the dogs have had diarrhea. She goes, Mom, I'm trying to eat breakfast. Can you not talk about that now? But anyway, she comes home and, you know, she makes rice and she makes chicken, which was the right thing to give them, right? And she makes like a huge amount of rice and a huge amount of chicken. And she even commented on it. It was so much. She goes, oh my God, this is so much rice, so much chicken. Now I'm working really hard at the computer and she walks over to me and like I'm a 4-year-old, she holds up this blue measuring cup and she goes, see this cup? You're going to give them 2 of these of rice and 1 of these of chicken. And I go, okay. And she says it again, just like that. Okay. So this morning comes She's upstairs asleep. And I go over, I can't find the cup. But I knew it was blue. So I'm looking all around the kitchen. I don't
know
see the cup.
this is
going
to end up with you giving the dog something that is not rice and not a cup's worth.
No, she's going to make the noodles honey yogurt dish again.
Okay, so I'm looking, and our normal measuring cups aren't blue. So I look around, and I see this blue measuring cup in the sink, but it's 1 cup. So I pull out the rice, I pull out the chicken shed and the big bags, and I'm like, there's no way these dogs are getting 2 cups of rice each and 1 cup of chicken. That just seems like so much. But that's what she told me to give them. So I give each dog
How did we end up here? Is anybody else wondering how we ended up with this story?
I don't know.
Okay, I give them 3 cups of food.
It's taken so long. We have a book club. Don't
anyway, then I boiled water to make it hot, and I put it down. They wolf it down. Then our cleaning lady came. She takes them for a walk. She comes back. I go, did they poop? And she goes, no, neither one of them did. Ivy came down when she found out how much I gave them. She goes, Mom, I'm probably not going to poop for 2 days. You just gave them each 2 cups of rice. It's going to take forever to get that out of there.
Oh, my God.
So I said, well, you said the blue cup. And she goes, yeah, the blue 1/4 of a cup. They were supposed to have 1/4 of a cup each.
I love that
rice.
Earlier in this story, you were complaining that she was being patronizing when she was holding that cup in front of your face. Like I'm a 4-year-old. Like I don't know what a 1/4 cup looks like. Then the next day, you lower a sack of rice into your dog's bowls. Literally hours later.
Yeah. So there was not multitasking. Working. Multitasking working. I don't know.
All right.
I hope the one dog.
We
Bonnie
barely have
doesn't
time
go to
for
the
this,
vet,
but
have to go to
I
the
want
vet.
to call the book club to order.
Wait,
Okay.
I just have to ask one more thing. Did Bonnie tell you guys about going to the dentist? It turned out she had a plastic earbud thing stuck in her tooth.
Not surprising.
Yeah, she just Bonnie plastic earbud burns. Oh my gosh!
Calling the book club to order, and I'm going to call it to close very soon. But
President
this
Tempura.
week,
I just like
I am
saying
President Pro Tem, not Tempura. And it's time for a Moby Dick book club. This week, because last week I guess
It's not the Moby Dick.
we all
book
read
club.
Cosmo instead of reading the book.
It's the Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone book club, and we're reading Moby Dick. It's not the Moby Dick book club.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it even has a name now.
What
But I
does?
forget what it is.
Order! So we read chapters 35 through 39 this week, as opposed to Cosmo, which I think was a good choice. In those chapters, Captain Ahab nails a doubloon to the mainmast to be given to the first man who spots the great white whale. And then at sunset, dusk, and first night watch, we hear from Ahab, Starbuck, and then Stubb. We get their interior monologues, as it were. And I'm calling this to order. Paula, what do you have to say?
I was so happy when we met Captain Ahab because Toni had been so angry a couple of weeks ago that we hadn't met him yet. And I mean, she was pissed at the whole Melville family. She was like, how many chapters into the book are we? And we still haven't met Captain Ahab. And I got bad news for you about meeting the whale. It's not.
It's not a fast-paced novel.
No, it's not. It's not a fast-paced novel. But I was really happy for Toni, who I knew so much hinged on meeting Captain Ahab. And Toni, how was it for you when you did meet him?
I felt overjoyed.
There you go.
Did you? So you read it?
I skimmed it, yes. Okay, can I just point out, we're only on chapter 39. There are 170 chapters. We've been doing this book club for 4 months now. Is anyone else concerned?
No, not at all.
Yes. Maybe if we stopped detouring into Cosmo and dog diarrhea, we'd have a chance of getting through this crap.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not going to finish this. We're not going to finish this book until Bonnie's dogs poop.
And that could be forever.
No, I finished it already. I re-listened. I listened again to I was able to understand the layers so much better this time.
There's a lot of layers, but I have to say, I mean, I read those chapters. Captain Ahab is so obviously out of his fucking mind from the first moment he gets out there on the deck and starts talking about the white whale. I mean, like, that's when I'd want to leave.
Well, they're on a boat. In fairness.
Yes. Right. But I think there will be opportunities to leave and to hop on other boats, and I don't think anybody does. And it's just weird. Because that guy is crazier than a bag full of squirrels, like, obviously.
It's very Trumpian in that the whole ship has now been co-opted for one man's revenge.
Right.
Very Trumpian.
I think Paul is right. And, I think Ahab said it best when he said, Moby Dick has been very unfair to me. No captain has ever been treated so badly as me. Other people look at the ship and they can't believe what they're seeing. They say, how could a whale treat a man so? It's never happened before.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it that he puts his he puts his whalebone leg into this hole on the deck and then spins around.
Yes. That is kind of a fun detail. I'll give you that. Hey, look at that. We talked about Moby Dick. Bonnie, you have anything to say about it?
Well, I read these a while ago, too, and I was kind of prepared when we, went a little off course here and did Cosmo. But I also really see the analogy to Trump. When Ahab puts that doubloon on the mast and, Trump dangled that his people could get money.
Yeah.
If they followed him.
Sure.
But also
Mrs. McConnell.
But just on a level that I was surprised about, I didn't realize that those masts had such a tiny thing to stand on. I mean, I've seen those ships and read about them and seen them in a lot of movies and guys fall off of them. I didn't really know that. And then I'm a little embarrassed to admit, I didn't realize they went out in those little boats to do the whaling. I always thought they did it from the ship.
Oh, no, there's no way you could do it from a ship. It's that high off the water.
Well, I get it, but it had never occurred to me before.
Well,
so I thought that was pretty dramatic.
It's
unlike
funny
me,
to
you
me.
didn't come from a whaling family.
No, I came from a rowboat family.
You've told stories here today about continuing to insist that you can multitask when you can't. You've told stories about overfeeding your dogs rice, and yet what you feel embarrassed about is not having realized that they used boats to whale.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I don't see not realizing that they used boats to whale as something to be deeply ashamed of.
Well, that has to do with my intellect.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It has to do with your experience.
Knowledge.
No, it doesn't.
It's about knowledge. Knowledge and intellect are not the same things. And not having much knowledge of 19th century whaling practices is nothing to be ashamed about, Bonnie Burns.
Go ahead, Tony, Google.
All
right, I want to read Let's read the Moby Dick feedback from our absentee president, Ken Lezebnik, because he sent me an overnight letter from Brooklyn.
I want to ask Bonnie one question. Do you remember the night you were in the shower with Zero Mustel and he said to you,
Oh my God. Yes,
And he
what
said
did
to
he
you,
say?
Paula,
do you remember
it
the
wasn't
night
Zero Mostel, it was Topol.
do you remember? He would, no, it was Zero Mostel. You were in the shower with Zero Mostel, and he said to you, what do you know about whaling? Do you remember that night? Do you remember how embarrassed you were?
He didn't say that.
Oh,
He
my
said-
mistake.
He said, if I were a rich man.
I told you it was Topol.
I knew it was Zero Mostel.
All right, so this is from our president, Ken Lezebnik. Can I read this to you guys?
Hold on. First of all, I want to say something about Moby Dick.
What? Okay.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
I did read, you know what I did read word for word was Starbucks monologue. Because and I
Okay.
liked it. It felt real relatable.
In what way?
Oh.
Because you have a son and a wife on shore?
Because you're on a voyage with an unreliable captain?
Yes.
Oh.
And is that Paula or Bonnie in this story?
Starbucks. Go ahead.
No, I just think my favorite line is, but my whole clock's run down, my heart the all-controlling weight. I have no key to lift again.
Wow. Thank you, Tony.
You're welcome.
So you
I don't
related
think
to
that's
that?
in there. I don't think that's in this book.
Yes, it is.
No, Tony, that's from Cosmo. Oh, for Christ's sakes.
Oh, you might have just read the
Oh.
Cosmo Advisor. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Wait, in your version of Starbucks monologue, was he talking about finding his G-spot by curling his finger? Because if he was, then I think you were probably reading Cosmo.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it was.
Starbuck knows how to milk a prostate, right?
Ah!
That's what I thought we'd left that all behind. I
Please.
opened up the door for that. All right, now order, everybody. Order, because our president, Ken Lezebnik, has sent an overnight letter from Brooklyn, and I am going to read it come hell or high water now. He says, quote, "My friends, I have some news. Along with my partners Brian Bird and Michael Landon Jr., I've sold a pilot to a streaming network. I can't say anything more right now, but I'll be taking a hiatus from the podcast while I pursue my own gold doubloon."
Wow. When he says
Wow.
when he says I can't say anything more right now, it sounds like he's been kidnapped.
Ken, if you're out there and you're in trouble, no, I can't. Now, Ken did tell us this yesterday, and to me, it's very sad news to lose him, even for a couple of months, because, you know, as a writer, I've never had anybody write for me. Well, maybe once or twice before, but it's a unique experience on this podcast. Is that Ken writes those fantastic flowery intros that I read every week, and it's been a joy to do it, and I'm gonna miss the heck out of that guy.
Well, then we're gonna have to all pool together our money and give it to his captors.
Yes.
Does he say in the note where we make the drop?
Well, wherever Brian Bird and Michael Landon Jr. are, I guess.
Yeah, that's what we got to do. Well, congratulations to Ken, and
Yes, we're gonna miss you, Mr. Lezebnik.
well,
I hope we can follow his progress. I'm excited for him.
progress. He spent 2 months on chapter 1.
All right, and with that, I'm going to call our book club, whatever we're calling it, to a close.
Yay, book club.
Paula, do you have any words for us this week?
Lose a leg, lose a leg.
I do, Adam. As you have predicted, Adam, I have a word. It's immutable. It's an adjective that means not changing or able to be changed. Hold it. I gotta whip out my Glock. Here, I'll use it in a sentence. I'm afraid the lust for money and power is an immutable characteristic of high-ranking Republicans. Immutable. It's got the word table in it. A stiff, inflexible table. Immutable. You know, if you had a table that bent or changed, did it drop your food or your cards or your kids' school books or jackets? Or the mail? Shit that piles up on a table? Nope. You don't want a table that changes. So, immutable. It's not changing or able to be changed. Got that?
Thank you for that. That's a
Immutable.
great explanatory digression. Thank you, Paula.
Let's put it right into our vocabulary song.
Oh, let's.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Who is it? I'll give you a hint. I tumbled out of bed and stumbled to the kitchen. Oh my gosh. It's Jolly Holly Rescue Dolly Parton. Hey, get that tennis ball away from me.
Oh my gosh, Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton, welcome to our show.
It's so funny that you're here. I was just about to sing a song. Well, I'd love to sing a song with you, Paula. It was just a vocabulary song. Adam doesn't think it's very good. Well, I've heard it before. I think it's wonderful.
Oh, wow. Now I'm the bad guy.
Oh, Adam Felber, you're not the bad guy.
Oh, thank you, Dolly. Let me say I'm a huge fan of yours.
Well, thank you, Adam Felber. Oh, Paula, that's not the right note. I can't remember. I'm so nervous with Dolly Parton here.
There you go.
This week's word is immutable. It's an adjective that means not changing or able to be changed. What if the furniture on the Titanic couldn't be rearranged? Last week's word was ultracrepidarian. It's an adjective that means expressing opinions on matters outside the scope of one's knowledge or expertise. It's also a noun that means someone you describe as ultracrepidarian. Ultracrepidarian, ultracrepidarian. I think it's safe to eat that uncooked carrion. Back to you, Paula. The week before that, the word was insensate. It's an adjective that means lacking sympathy or compassion, unfeeling. Get up and do all my chores even though you're still healing. Take it, Dolly. Going back before that, the word was assiduous. It's an adjective that means showing her done with thoroughness and great care. Like how I carefully backcombs her hair. And not long ago we had lubber. It's a noun that means a heavy, clumsy, stupid person. Once you've called a friend that, your relationship may worsen. Never do that to you, Dolly. Let's never forget Gallimaufry, which Paula pronounced wrong until nobody James Hyder corrected her. It's a noun that means confused jumbler medley of things. Hodgepodge, who's podge, hodgepodge. Adam doesn't think my song is replicable. Replicable, replicable. But I do. Dolly does. Paula does. Thank you, Dolly. Woo! Dolly, thank you so much. What an honor to get to sing with you. Well, thank you, Paula. I haven't had that good a time since the hog ate my little brother. It was what us folks in Tennessee call just plain fun. I'm sorry about what my dog's tennis ball did to your dress. Oh, that's all right. I can get another. I'll let you guys get on with your podcast now. Bye, Adam. Bye, Captain Crinkle. Bye, Toni. Read your Moby Dick chapters now, you. Goodbye, Paula. We'll sing together again sometime.
All right. Coming up, John Philpott Curran says, "My dear doctor, I am surprised to hear you say I'm coughing very badly, as I have been practicing all night. How to get rid of that chronic cough that might be next on Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone." We deserve to know what we're putting in our bodies and also why, especially when it comes to something we take every day. Ritual's clean, vegan-friendly multivitamin is formulated with high-quality nutrients in bioavailable forms your body can actually use.
So I've taken Ritual vitamins before, and you know what? I took them every morning and I felt good. I felt strong. They were like a capsule, but not the gaggy, powdery kind. And they had a little minty smell, so it didn't smell fishy. It was easy to take. Because in the past, when I've taken vitamins, I feel like they get stuck halfway down my throat, and I just taste them all day long. But this was not like that.
Well, it's now available for women, men, and teens. Your Ritual multivitamins are delivered to your door every month with free shipping always. You can start, snooze, or cancel your subscription anytime. And if you don't love Ritual within your first month, they'll refund your first order.
You know what? That's a good deal right there. I got to tell you, sometimes, my neighbors would see the Ritual vitamins being delivered, and then they would put it together themselves. Like, boy, she looks strong. She seems like she feels good. And they knew that it was coming from the Ritual vitamins. I don't see any other possibility. So get key nutrients without the BS. Ritual is offering my listeners 10% off during your first 3 months. Visit ritual.com/Paula to start your Ritual today.
That is 10% off during your first 3 months. And that's at ritual.com/Paula.
It's a good deal. If you're going to do it anyways, use our code. Ritual.com/Paula.
Okay, your family is sticking closer to home this spring, which is still a big change for you and your kids. Why not gift them super cool STEAM projects that take their imagination on a trip without leaving the home?
Ooh, I like that idea. With a KiwiCo subscription, your child gets a new crate full of fun science and art projects every month. KiwiCo is for trailblazing toddlers to more experienced explorers and every stage in between.
And Paula, I know I've been talking about some of the newer KiwiCo crates that we've been getting lately, but I gotta say, about a week ago, I was cleaning my daughter's room because she doesn't always do a great job herself. I'm not criticizing you, Vivi. You're fantastic. And I found on one of her shelves in a treasured position the first KiwiCo crate we ever built together, the walking robot. And it was just kind of wonderful because we had such a good time building that robot, and it really walked. And clearly it meant a lot to her, too, because she put it right there on her shelf.
Oh, yes. The shelf is a prestigious position in a child's room.
Indeed.
Cultivate your child's natural creativity and curiosity with hands-on projects every month. And everything shipped right to your door. And there's no commitment, so you can pause or cancel anytime. I used to try to cultivate my kids' curiosity by just hiding food around the house. Like I wouldn't just put it on a plate and serve them.
Yeah.
I'd say, you guys, are you curious about where the food might be? And that's one way of doing it. But this is another way.
Yeah, I feel like this way is better. With KiwiCo, there's something for every kid or kid at heart every month. Get 30% off your first month plus free shipping on any crate line with code Paula at kiwico.com.
That's 30% off your first month at kiwico.com. Promo code Paula. If you're going to do it anyways, use our code. On this day in unremarkable history, Jim Henson's mother said, "I buy you socks and I don't know where they go."
Thank you, house band Sophie, Taft, Paula Poundstone. You have had a chronic cough for years. Ever since I've known you, you have had a cough.
Yeah, I've had a cough for about, 40 years.
Yep, and that's a long time to have a cough. And we decided on the show that we were going to do something about it. And Ken Lezebnik located an expert on chronic coughs, and everything was all set to go. And now, what has happened?
Well, here's what happened. So, as I told you, last week was it's been a difficult week. So, Toni emails me, Toni Anita Hull, who books our guests. Mm-hmm. She contacted Dr. Tanya Jones, and she emails me. So I'm going to read you the series of emails. This is part of what I was going through on the day when I was yelling at Bonnie on voicemail.
When you were yelling at Bonnie's voicemail, yes.
Yeah. Hi, Paula. I would like you to meet Dr. Tanya Jones. As we discussed, Dr. Jones is our guest next week, and she will be doing a consultation with you about your cough. Sorry. Dr. Jones, thank you so much. I will let you and Paula find a time that works best for y'all. Thank you both so much. Toni. Then I get this email from Bonnie. Paula, have you had a chance to set up getting with the cough doctor? Toni's swamped and can't facilitate. She sent me this note. Here's the note from Toni. Hey, Bonnie, as I mentioned, I swamped until Saturday, and I'm wondering if you could check in with Paula about the guest and the consult. I'm not sure what's happening, and also not sure how to intervene to help. Thanks. Then I get this email. Dear Cheryl.
This is all fine so far.
Yeah. Dear Cheryl. Well, it's not fine. There's already been 3 unnecessary emails. Dear Cheryl, Paula, and Toni. It is not possible for a producer to do the consult. It has to be the person with the cough. If we set up the half-hour consultation, Paula, then you can fill out the intake form, which gives me enough information to actually be helpful. This process really cannot be done during the interview Tuesday because the specific questions would take too much time. I am not demanding this, but I strongly advise that you set up a time for the consult. Filling out the intake form after scheduling. You can record the consultation if you, Paula, agree to that, but under normal circumstances, that is privileged doctor-patient communication. All. If Paula wants me to help her, I really believe this is the best way to go. Failing that, I can just do the interview on Tuesday cold. Now, what I want the listeners to be thinking about, if you can imagine in your heads what it would be like for me to have just plain had one phone conversation with Dr. Jones. Pretend there is no email. Here's the next email from Cheryl Saban. Hi, team. Dr. Jones, can you please coordinate with Cheryl P. about this? Cheryl P., Dr. J. wants to schedule a Zoom referenced as 30-minute consultation with someone who is going to be interviewing her. Options would be to just send her your Zoom link and you both log in at that time, or give her a coupon code from Acuity. Dr. J., if you have questions or need help getting this done, please reach out to Cheryl. Then I write, I get Cheryl's phone number off the bottom of this email, and I write, Cheryl, I tried to leave you a message, but your mailbox was full. Please call me at 310-111-4429 to set up a consult with Tanya Jones. Thanks, Paula Poundstone. Hi, Paula. A note from Cheryl. Hi, Paula. Not to confuse you with yet another Cheryl, but my name is Cheryl Austin. I will be the one discussing with Dr. Jones the best way to get you set up for the consultation.
Oh, boy.
I'll be in touch with you tomorrow after my call with her. Really? So you're going to have a call with her, Cheryl? Because that's what I was longing for. Best, Cheryl Austin, Director of Client Services. Then I wrote to the good doctor, Tanya, thanks for agreeing to do my podcast. I tried to call Cheryl, but her mailbox was full. So I emailed her my phone number. I'm flexible all day Saturday. I can do any time today, Thursday, and Friday after 2 p.m. Anytime. It's embarrassing how available I am. Paula Poundstone. Then,
you abased yourself.
Now another email from Dr. Tanya Jones to Cheryl, and me. Hi, Paula. Will 3 o'clock tomorrow work for you? Once my staff opens the spot, go on drjonesconsulting.com and make an appointment for 3 o'clock. And we will reimburse you. You probably have to put a credit card in. Please fill out the intake form as it will help steer us in the right direction. I look forward to talking with you. Really?
Oh, my God.
Because you could have called me any fucking time, Dr. Jones. My cell is 345-476-8920. If you need anything or want to chat. Best, Tanya. Well, yeah, I do want to chat. Couldn't we just talk, Tanya? Now I wrote back to Tanya. Tanya, I can't do online forms. I'm not good at it. I get halfway through and the first answers disappear. It causes stress. I can answer questions out loud, but that's where my skill doc ends. Paula Poundstone. So here's another email from Cheryl. Hi all, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time has been opened up for tomorrow. Paula, you should be able to schedule now. Let us know if you have any questions. Cheryl. And here's another one.
But you just told them you're not going to fill out that stuff.
Well, yes, but that was from Cheryl. Now here's to me from Dr. Jones. Hi, go ahead and book 3 o'clock. At least take a look at the form. I look forward to talking with you tomorrow. Best, Tanya Jones.
That sounds reasonable.
None of this is reasonable. One fucking phone call. All you had to do was talk to me on the phone. If you needed 30 minutes, I'll give you 30. One phone call. We needed no Cheryls. She had 2 Cheryls. We needed 0 Cheryls. We just needed to talk on the phone. She could say to me, is it a dry cough? And I could say sometimes. And she could say, is it a productive cough? And I could say, I got a lot of shit done yesterday. I don't understand how.
Well, did you look at the questions?
No, I never did, because I'm not going to do an online form. And then finally, I got on the phone with one of the Cheryls. One of the Cheryls did call me. And by this time, I was so stressed out. I said, Cheryl, I know you're not the person I should be going off on, but what I don't understand is, why do I have to go online? I have a cough. I wanted to talk to the doctor. Can't I just talk to her? I said, Cheryl, if you say to me 3 o'clock tomorrow, then I'm gonna stand up, take a pencil, and write it into my calendar. How come everyone else can't do the same fucking thing, Cheryl? And she said, really, I work for an advertising agency.
What?
She said, yeah, that's what she said. She said, we're the doctor's advertising agency. And she goes, but we're good friends. And I just, why am I talking to the doctor's advertising agency? It was so frustrating. And so then I wrote to Bonnie. I sent an email because I tried to call both Bonnie and Toni. And Bonnie was at the dentist having the earbud
pulled out of her mouth.
Plastic thing pulled out of her tooth. And Toni had driven to this remote town that she goes to sometimes just to relax, and she had gone way up to a bluff. There's a bluff
cruise somewhere
she likes to go up on, and she was reading. She had Moby Dick on the outside, and then Cosmopolitan wedged on the inside of the book.
Sure,
in case anybody drove by and realized what she was doing. So I couldn't reach anybody, and so I wrote to them, and I just said, you know what? I would rather. Here's my feeling. I would rather cough for the rest of my fucking life than fill out an online form.
Well, that's an exciting story.
And Ken says that he got help from this person, and he said he had to change his diet. He said, well, I'll just give you one tip. He goes, don't drink any soda for 4 hours before you go to sleep. I said, Ken.
Sounds reasonable.
Before I go to bed, I go to the refrigerator and take 2 fresh diet sodas and put them beside where I sleep. And then the half one that I've been working on, I put that beside that. At least 2 nights a week, I spill and have to get up and clean out spilled soda. There's no way I'm changing There's no way I'm changing my diet. No fucking way I'm changing my diet.
Yeah,
and
I don't think this doctor could have helped you then.
I'm not changing my diet, and I'm not filling out an online form, and I'm not reading some doctor's website. I'm not doing it. You know what? This is my feeling, Dr. Jones. I'd love to talk to you about coughs, but you give me a fucking pill. That's what I want.
Right.
No, the truth is my cough has been I have asthma and allergies. That's what I have. And,
Well, I don't think that's true. And I'll tell you something, Paula.
What do you mean you don't think that's true?
I've got a surprise for you. I'm not going to take your word for it because we have, in lieu of having an actual guest on this show, we have gotten in touch with two medical experts who researched, maybe while multitasking, your condition, and they are going to diagnose you when we come back from our break. We're going to have Doctors Bonnie Burns and Dr. Toni Anita Hull come in here and consult with you and cure your chronic cough once and for all.
Well, they are.
I don't think I'm overselling it when I say there is no chance that you will have a cough after meeting with these two.
These are they are so highly regarded in the medical community.
Yes.
I'm sure this next few minutes will be covered by Blue Cross.
I'm sure it will be. Ralph Richardson said, acting is merely the art of keeping a large group of people from coughing. Stay tuned to hear us cough up more information about this ailment when we return with our medical experts right after this. The cat of the week is the Divine Miss Whiskers from Lawrence, Kansas.
Do you ever listen to our podcast and wish you could interrupt us?
All the
I would
time.
think not.
Oh.
Well, now you can. We're going live on the Stereo app where you can ask your questions directly on the app.
That's right. Every Friday nowadays, me and Paula go live on the Stereo app, and we're taking your calls, and it's free. Just download the Stereo app and follow us at stereo.com/Adam Felber or stereo.com/Paula Poundstone, or both.
Seems simple. Join us on the Stereo app for our usual uncensored opinions and exclusive content. And I mean exclusive.
Really? You're not invited unless you're invited. All right, we love it. We've been having a great time on Stereo, and so will you if you follow us. Once again, that's stereo.com/Adam Felber and stereo.com/Paula Poundstone, and get notified every time we go live.
You know, I hate waste, but I'm always throwing away spoiled fruit and veggies. One box of Kinko smoothie packets delivers 45 fruits and vegetables. It's like a farmer's market full of fresh fruits and veggies, and they take less than 60 seconds to make, and I can get my time down to 45.
Yeah, I bet you can. Kenko makes seriously nutritious smoothies for seriously busy people. Kenko smoothies are easy to make, no blender, no juicer, no kitchen needed. Pour the Kenko packet into water or your favorite milk, shake it up, and take on the day.
Expensive store-bought smoothies are sugar-packed calorie bombs, and fresh-pressed juices have way less fiber. But Kenko's breakfast smoothies are only made from organic whole fruits and vegetables, flash frozen and slow dried to lock in all the fiber and nutrients. Nothing added and no fiber taken out.
Go to Kenko.com, take their quick nutrition quiz, and fill your flexible monthly order with your choice of 15 functional flavors that match your goals and taste. And each Kenko smoothie costs less than $3 and packs half the daily fruits and vegetables that you need to reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and some cancers.
You know, I have the Kinko smoothie maker. It's a container. It's a luxury, strokeable container. All you do is you put the powder in, you put in water up to a line on the container, and you shake it up. And you know what?
What?
It really is delicious. I actually look forward to having it. That's not like me.
No, it really isn't. If it's not diet soda, it's usually not something you're looking forward to.
No, exactly. It's really a big turnabout for me. And I used to make smoothies every so often, but it took so damn long. So this really, you know, and there's no big cleanup and all that, you know, it really is a terrific product. I'm using the Kinko, and I think you should too.
Start creating healthy habits right now. Go to Kenko.com/Paula. Pick out your flexible monthly plan, and the first 100 listeners, get this, you'll get 25% off your first order. That's Kenko.com/Paula, and get 25% off, but only if you're one of the first 100 to hear this offer.
All right, we love our nobodies, so get this special deal, 25% off for the first 100 listeners at KENCO.com/Paula. cko.com/Paula. You deserve it.
And we're back now. Paula, you went ahead and blocked our medical expert from appearing here tonight, but I think you had good cause.
Well, I wouldn't say I blocked. It wasn't. It was. I bowed out.
You
that's
bowed
what
out.
I
You
did.
opted out of our weekly interview.
Yeah.
Which is,
Did
I think good for your mental health, not so great for our podcast. But we have a solution.
Wait, I just want to tell you one more thing. When Cheryl from the advertising department was talking to me, she just kept coughing and coughing.
Well, and how good can that doctor be? Because she's personal friends with that doctor.
Sorry.
All right. Now, Paula, we've got Dr. Burns and Hull, and they're ready to give you their own expert analysis of your chronic cough. So without further ado, let's bring to the microphones with their report and their analysis of your coughing. It's Dr. Toni Anita Hull and Dr. Bonnie Burns. Welcome.
Yay! Well, Adam and Paula, thank you. Thank you very much for inviting Toni and myself here. I'm not really a doctor, but I know a lot on this topic, and I'm happy to share my information with you. And before we start, I have a little something just to get us in the mood.
Doctor, help me, please. Yes, I need your help.
What the hell was that? Did you give yourself a theme song for this segment?
Was that Toni singing?
Here.
Doctor, help me, please. Yes, I need your help.
Now, I can't hear those lyrics. Can you tell me what is being sung there?
Cough, cough, cough. I can't remember the rest.
It sounded like Toni singing. Toni, were
What?
you singing?
That was
Yes,
not me singing.
Oh,
Was
come
it?
on. You could have lied.
Oh, I know. I'm not good at lying sometimes.
So who was that singing?
But sometimes you're really good at it. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, not half an hour ago, she came right out and said that she read those chapters.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
good.
wait.
No, I said I skimmed
Okay, go ahead.
them.
Go ahead.
Skimmed.
Go ahead, Dr. Burns.
I remembered the lyrics. Cough, cough, cough. Doctor, help me, please, because I need your help.
Wow.
Now, where did that theme song come from, Bonnie?
Adam, I have my ways.
I thought it would be an interesting question to answer, but apparently not. All right, well, let's then get straight to the medical help.
I'm going to get right into this because, well, I actually am not aware that Paula's had a cough for 40 years. I've only worked with her for about 25 years, and I only recall the cough for about 12 or 14 years. Is that correct, Paula?
No, Dr. Burns.
Oh.
I've had a cough for about 40 years.
Okay. So here's the thing about a cough. A cough clears irritants from our bodies. So a cough is actually useful. But a chronic cough, and that's a cough that lasts 8 weeks or longer in adults. For children, it would be 2 weeks or longer. That's how they define a chronic cough. And in
your medical opinion, is 40 years longer than 8 weeks?
Yes, it is. And I would say...
Thank you, Dr. Burns.
Yeah, since a chronic cough is something that goes on longer than 8 weeks, that usually indicates that there's a medical problem. And everyone says that it's essential to seek medical advice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So your considered opinion, doctor, is that one should seek medical advice for a medical problem.
Well, Yes, after 8 weeks, a chronic cough.
Let me ask you something. How many years did you go to med school to come up with that theory?
I've asked around.
I feel like I really blame Oprah for giving us Dr. Oz and Dr. Phil, but now I feel kind of guilty that I've done the same thing. I've given us
You've just unleashed Dr. Bonnie on the world.
Dr. Burns and Dr. Hull. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're not a smoker, the 3 common causes of chronic cough are allergies, acid reflux, which is related to your diet, which is a thing that Ken mentioned, and asthma. Now, when you said asthma, I was a little surprised because I didn't know that you had that.
Yes.
But those are the 3 most common causes of chronic cough. Now,
Dr. Burns, do you know why you didn't know that I have asthma?
because I multitask.
No.
Yeah, that would be
Well,
it.
perhaps. I'm sure I've said it before, but you don't know that I have asthma because you are not my doctor.
Oh, okay. All right. But I'm here
But
to
Paula,
share
in
my
point of fact,
information.
you have said asthma and allergies as your explanation many a time.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing about acid reflux, which is also called gastroesophageal reflux disease, or GERD for short. And what happens is the stomach acid flows back into the tube that connects your stomach and throat. And the constant irritation can lead to chronic coughing. And the coughing
that's
in
not
turn
what's wrong with me.
worsens. No, let me just finish.
Yeah.
So here are the foods you're supposed to avoid because this is what causes this cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Caffeine is like one of the biggest ones. And what is full of caffeine?
Oh, I know this one. Dr. Burns, call me. Dr. Burns, call me. I
no,
know this
no,
one.
Adam Felber.
The answer is Diet Pepsi.
It is.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a caffeine pillow. Shit.
No, it's not. And
Caffeine ravioli. Caffeine ravioli.
It works in 2 bad ways. Not only does it create like the acid reflux, that's something you're supposed to avoid, but also one thing that thins mucus is to hydrate. But one thing that caffeine does is soak up liquid, so it makes you dehydrated the more caffeine you have.
Oh.
Oh, it's a
about that?
diuretic.
Huh.
Yeah, thank you. That's the word. And then they tell you to avoid sugar, chocolate,
Avoid sugar?
milk.
Oh, for
Yeah.
Christ's sakes.
Sugar.
Why not just freeze myself? Why not just go to one of those cryogenic places? Avoid sugar. Dr. Burns, let me ask you something. Dr. Oz had his own magazine for a little while. Are you going to do that?
No. And here's the other thing, avoid milk. I don't think you eat that many dairy products, but
I don't eat
There's-
any dairy products.
okay, well, there you go. But
Yeah.
just for
You know
our
why?
listeners,
Do you know why I
Why?
don't eat any dairy products? Because the purpose of dairy or milk, the purpose of cow's milk is to fatten up a baby bovine.
Right.
So,
and
all right, it's not entirely true that I don't eat any. Once a year, I'll have an ice cream from Captain Dusty's in Manchester, Massachusetts. But outside of that, I do not eat dairy. In fact, I recently started having Cheerios with water.
So, Dr. Burns, that's disgusting. Dr. Burns, you're suggesting that Paula might not just be asthma and allergies, but there might be a dietary component that's giving her acid reflux.
I am. And since acid reflux and asthma are 2 of the 3 most common causes of chronic cough, and then allergies, which are one of the common causes of allergies, are dust. That seems to me like a perfect storm for
I think you've
cough.
really stumbled onto something
Wow.
here, because allergies, acid reflux, and what was the other one? Asthma, all start with the letter A. And then dairy starts with a D, and then dust starts with a D. And so this What do they call this?
This is pretty good stuff, Paula.
This
and
is
I'm going
forensic
to urge you to think
medicine.
about
What
it.
you've been able to do here is, did you work on Operation Warp Speed? Because what you've been able to do with medical science here
It's pretty amazing.
is unbelievable. I think when
let's
people
but
realize
before we
that
pass judgment,
yeah,
we still have a report coming from Dr. Hull.
Yeah, I need to turn it over to my colleague.
yeah, I would trust Dr. Hull a lot more if she hadn't just moments ago confessed that sometimes she's not good at lying.
Oh my God.
All right, well, Dr. Hull, why don't you mosey on up to the deathbed here and tell us what's going on?
So, my best friend of 20-something years is a doctor, Dr. Katie Meckler from Jefferson Hospital in Philadelphia. She does work in hospice, but I feel like I've gotten a lot of knowledge from her on.
Okay, I don't really think I'm in the hospice phase yet, Dr. Hull. But
Oh, poor thing. She doesn't even understand the gravity of her condition. Please, Dr. Hull, continue. I'll try to talk to her later.
Dr. Hall,
Yes, Paula,
I really
that's right.
feel
You're
fine.
fine, Paula.
I have a cough,
No,
but I don't feel bad.
You're fine, Slugger. You're fine. You're going to be okay.
God.
We're going to go out to the park together like we always did. You'll see. You're going to be fine.
No, Adam, I really do feel fine.
No, you're gonna be great. We're gonna go running together. We're gonna go running around the town. Just run like the wind.
What? I can't run, but I feel fine. I'm telling you, I feel fine.
You're gonna be great, Dr. Hull.
I just have a cough.
Okay, so
Go ahead, Dr. Hall.
so I have several questions for you, but you don't have to fill them out
What?
online.
I tell you
I'm
what,
just
put them
gonna
on the
ask
line, and I'll get back to you at about 3 o'clock on Thursday.
The only way she answers questions now.
It's the only way I can do it, and I need to open an account, and I need to create a password, and the password has to be secure. So I want to use a lot of numbers and letters.
But failing that, Toni, why don't you ask her some live questions? I'm sure,
Okay.
in
you
what
and-
time Paula has left, I'd love for her to be able to answer a few questions.
No, I'm fine, Adam. I'm telling you, I'm fine.
You're not.
Sure
wait,
you are. We'll go to the
I don't
beach. You
think
always
you're
like the
fine.
beach.
You're
You
not.
always like the beach.
No, I never really liked the beach that much. I
You
don't like
have
sand.
bluish skin, right? No bluish skin,
No, I have no bluish skin.
and you're conscious.
Yeah,
These are good questions, Paula. Try to answer them.
these are the questions that you. These are the questions that you go through when you find someone unconscious on the side of the road. These are not chronic cough
I just
questions.
wanted to make sure that nothing was blocking your airway before I started. Okay.
Phlegm is blocking my airway. Flemish. I'm Flemish.
Yeah, as far as I know, Paula is Flemish and not bluish. She doesn't even look bluish. And I should know. I represent the bluish people on this show. All right, go on, Toni, with your questions.
Okay. Are you an adult or child?
I am an adult at this time.
Okay. Is your cough wet or dry?
My cough is, in the moment, it's wet, but it's often dry as well.
Ooh.
Ooh, curveball. When did the cough start?
In high school.
Oh my God.
What period?
It was in Mrs. Adams. It was in Miss Adams' biography class.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Biography class in high school. Fantastic. So that was early. She taught in the morning, right? That was a morning class.
It was in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me, Dr. Hull is asking the questions, Mr.
Okay, I'm
Felder.
just trying to get you some good information here, but okay, Toni, go ahead.
This is what happens when you go in with your partner to the doctor's office. This is why it's good to leave the partner in the waiting room. Honey, can you step out and read some magazines, please? I'm in with Dr. Hull right now. All right, Dr. Hull.
Okay. I'll go read some magazines.
Were you writing your own biography in Mrs. Adams' class or reading biographies?
We were reading biographies. Okay. Do you think that could have done
that
it?
On your question sheet?
I was just curious. Maybe she would read something about a person who had a chronic cough and then just like took that on herself.
Oh, so now you
taken.
think
You're the doctor. Go ahead.
You think
This
there's
could
a
be psychological.
psychosomatic? Oh, I see.
Do you have
I'm
any
out here in the
mucus?
waiting area reading Cosmo, by the way.
God. Is there any mucus, and if so, what color is it?
Yes, there is mucus, and I don't know what color it is. I don't inspect it.
Okay.
Let me just say this.
You should inspect
You
it.
need to
because
look.
You
That
need to
is
look.
so
Different
gross.
colors mean different things.
Well, you need to know.
Well,
Yeah.
it changes based on the season. Like, I like autumnal phlegm.
It's beautiful. Especially in California, autumnal phlegm can be really quite beautiful.
Yeah, there's like a hue of red around the edges. Is that good?
Yes, they say we don't have seasons here in LA, but they don't know our phlegm.
Yeah, they're not talking about our phlegm. I thought you were reading magazines in the other room.
You're totally right.
Go
I'm
find
learning so much
Waldo.
about my prostate right now.
All right, go ahead, Dr. Hull. Go ahead, Dr. Hull.
Okay.
Dr. Hull, do you have a website?
drhull.com. I don't have a publicist though, or
Advertising agency. She had a whole advertising agency.
Have you been in close contact with people with any respiratory infections, such as the common cold, tuberculosis, pneumonia, or whooping cough?
Well, you know, there's another common infection. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's COVID-19. Is that Dr. Hull? Have you heard of COVID-19? No, not that I know of. Not that I know of.
What
And
about,
of course,
think about that biography class.
Oh, wait a
Yeah.
minute. We read the.
You could have caught something from one of those kids in the class.
No, who was the? Who was the guy that? Who was the playwright that died of tuberculosis?
All of them.
All of them.
Such a playwright way to go.
Yeah.
Chekhov?
No, it wasn't Chekhov. I mean, he may have.
That's
I guess a lot of them did then, because none of these are who I'm thinking of. All right, so I can't remember whose biography we
Eugene
read back then.
O'Neill?
Yes, that's who I was thinking of, Eugene O'Neill.
She just Googled that.
I did.
Doctor, I would rather I had your complete attention than you Googling.
You do
Let's
have
keep
my
these
complete
questions going, or
attention.
we're never going to get to a diagnosis.
Dr. Google.
No, I'm almost there.
Okay.
Okay.
And you said you have asthma.
I
Correct?
do. Yes.
Okay. So I think you have some kind of chronic cough.
Toni, were you filling out like a WebMD online questionnaire just now?
No.
She was-
So this is
Yes, you were.
listen, I think this is what I think you should do. I think sucking on hard candies will help. Take some Pepsid and some Tums and Prilosec.
Pepsid and Tums.
So, Toni, you're going with Bonnie's diagnosis that there's
I am going with Bonnie's diagnosis.
a reflux
Acid
thing happening
reflux.
I think
you
it's
know-
acid reflux.
Dr. Hull, if you had asked me for an adjective and a verb, then I would have guessed that you were filling out a Mad Libs on me.
here. It did kind of come across that way.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I feel so much better. All right, just so the listeners know, Wendell rigged up over the years. They have edited my cough out of the podcast, and then Wendell rigged up a cough button that I push to turn my mic off when I cough, which is why, in case you were wondering why you never hear me cough, that's why. Whereas if you happen to be in my backyard, well, first of all, you're trespassing, but second of all, you would hear me coughing.
Well, I have to say, Paula, that I'm a little bit persuaded by doctors Hull and Burns because although you have told me that you have allergies and asthma, the only evidence of allergies and asthma that I've ever witnessed with you is the coughing.
No, I'm constantly blowing my nose. I'm always negotiating some form of,
Phlegm. Effluvium.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? It's not up for me to judge. These doctors have rendered their opinion, but now we're going to take that and run that somewhat dubious information through the old Poundstonator. So we'll have an extra level of unreliability.
I have learned so much. This has been so instructive, Dr. Oz, Dr. Phil. Thank you.
All right, so let's send it through the Poundstonator. Paula?
So Sophie Taft kicking ass on the West African harp tonight. Thank you so much. If I could have a little background music, I will tell you what the Poundstonator just spit out. Bonnie says, Burns and Hull Cough Clinic may help you. Me. I've had a chronic cough for about 40 years, and I was hoping I could get an appointment to have it checked out. Bonnie. Oh, my. How long have you had it? Me. For about 40 years. Bonnie. That's a lot of ears. I don't know if we can help with that many ears. Me. Not ears. 40 years. Bonnie. Oh, I wondered, because 40 years, that is a lot of ears, and I don't care what country you're from. Is it a productive cough? Me? Well, I guess. Bonnie, well then why would you want to get rid of it? I'd kill to be productive. I haven't been off this couch for a week. I haven't washed my hair. Me, coughing can really be tiring. Bonnie, I guess that's true. And of course, you can't hide from anyone. Me, I hadn't been worried about that, but you're right. It would be hard to hide from anyone. Bonnie, who are you trying to hide from? This could be more of a psychosomatic problem, really. Me, it's a physiological problem. Are you going to help me or not? Bonnie, there's no shame in having a psychosomatic cough. It sounds like a cry for help. You're not hiding. You just want to be seen. I see you. I want you to know I see you. Me, can I speak to Dr. Hull? Bonnie, there's no Dr. Gull here. Maybe you just want to be free like a gull soaring over the ocean. Me, not Dr. Gull, Dr. Hull. Bonnie, oh, I'm sorry, she's Googling right now. Can I have her call you? Me, yes, please. Bonnie, what is this regarding? Me, click.
Oh. That was great.
Oh, so good.
Dr. Bonnie Burns and Dr. Toni Anita Hull, thank you for sharing your medical wisdom with us. And without making us fill out forms.
You guys were fantastic. So informative. I just feel you're America's doctors at this point.
Yeah. We're just going to need you to fill out a couple of forms on your way out. Cheryl's going to take care of that.
It was a real treat.
Cheryl?
Thank you.
Yeah, Cheryl. The first Cheryl, not the second Cheryl.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I learned so much from Cosmo just now, so I'm ready to go.
You were just out there in the waiting room.
Oh, yeah. Next, nobody sent us more stories about their ants. Ant stories. That's coming up after this. Fun fact, humans are the only animal that can blush. Well, except for ducks, but they are shameless. All right, everybody, it is time for ant stories. Paula, this is one of my favorite times of the year, the ant story time of year. Nobody's have sent the stories about our favorite relatives, the ant. And as Agatha Christie said, every man should have ants. They illustrate the triumph of guesswork over logic. That's a good one. I'm going to miss Ken Lezebnik so much. Let's hear some stories about ants from nobodies around the country. Toni Anita Hull, you want to step up to the mic?
I'm ready. Okay. So this one is from Martha Armstrong. My aunt, for whom I was named, was a real character. When she came to visit us in Nashville, my parents took her to the Grand Ole Opry. When Minnie Pearl came on stage and shouted out her traditional greeting of "Howdy," my aunt stood up in the balcony and shouted right back at her, "Howdy to you too." She tried to fix my girlfriend and me up with surfer, quote, dudes in Panama City by shouting down at them from the porch, "Here they are, boys." When she and my uncle married, they were both in their 30s. They had a civil ceremony in front of the Justice of the Peace and planned a short, quiet getaway honeymoon. But they didn't plan on taking along one of their wedding, quote, gifts, a goat. But the goat went with them and then was placed with friends who had a farm. She lived to be 96 years old and was funny and crazy but smart and irreverent. Hope I live up to her standards. Martha Armstrong.
Wow. That is a great aunt.
She's a fantastic aunt, but not a great aunt.
Yeah. No, yeah, fantastic aunt. Howdy. That's how Minnie Pearl used to say it. Howdy. Wow, that's wonderful. So what I'm wondering is if Martha, the niece, ever married any of those surfer dudes.
Well, I think it's implied that she did.
Here they are, boys. That's a nice introduction right there. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
That
Cool.
would bring me to the yard right away.
All right, Tony, go ahead.
In fact, that's how I met.
Another.
That's how I met Jeannie. Her mom yelled, "Here she is, boys!"
Yeah, and you fought your way to the front of the pack.
Fought my way to the front of the line. Yeah, that was that.
That's a beautiful story.
All right, Tony, what else do you have?
This is from Kathy Adler. My auntie Irene took several of us cousins, aged 10 to 15, to see the Beatles in Hard Day's Night at the local theater, with a purse full of her regular movie treats. Bologna on white bread with mustard sandwiches wrapped in wax paper.
I've never known anyone to have bologna sandwiches in the movie theater.
I gotta tell you, that sounds fantastic to me, though.
Oh my God, I hate bologna.
I always get a little tired of like movie snacks in movie theaters, but a bologna sandwich with mustard, I'm in. Aunt Irene, take me to the movies.
Take me to the movies. I had an Aunt Irene, by the way, Kathy Adler. I had a great Aunt Irene. And I'm sure I've told you this story before, but she used to chew snuff. It was so disgusting.
Oh, yes, that is disgusting.
She held it in her mouth like this, and she talked like this. And I wouldn't have even taken a bologna sandwich from her.
You know, this isn't an auntie story, but a grandma story. My grandmother, who I loved, died when I was quite young, like 4 or 5. But I remember that, like, when we went to events together, like movies or basketball games, our favorite treat in the world, me and my brother, was when she would give us sugar cubes. And I remember learning years later that she was handing us like diner packages of sugar cubes that she'd filched on her way out the door of the various eating establishments. To me, it was the greatest treat in the world. Only later did I learn that she was, picking them up for free from, while having her breakfast donut.
You will probably never come even close to getting polio.
No, that's right. I've been polio free for years.
You were vaccinated for polio
thousands of times
times
over. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you and your brother used to run? And did you do it on 4 legs? Because that could be another clue to why she was giving you these.
Well, yeah, but what kid doesn't run on 4 legs really fast?
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Your
What?
poor grandmother was so brain-addled by this point in her life, she thought you and your brother were horses, Adam. That's why did she sometimes give you a carrot?
Always. She would call us over to the fence with a carrot. Oh, that explains so much.
Yeah, exactly.
And that also explains why I learned how to count by stomping my foot.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is an embarrassing family story.
Wow, this turned way more humiliating than I thought. Tony, can you bail us out with another auntie story?
Yes, of course. This is from Samantha Down. My great aunt Betty had 2 toy poodles, Muffin and Midnight, back in the 90s. She had a haircut that matched theirs, whether she realized she had done it or not. Short and puffy on top, crimped down the sides. Aunt Betty used to trick us kids into doing things for her, like rubbing lotion on her feet. She was so consistently tanned, her skin became positively leathery in her older years. She used her bra, as most women use a purse. Everything she needed was in it. Lipstick, money, ID, Kleenex, car keys, fingernail clippers and scissors, cigarettes, and a lighter. She worked at a truck stop and had been married to a truck driver who passed away in his truck after suffering a heart attack. She probably had tried every illicit substance that was ever offered to her. Samantha Down.
Wow, that's a great. I like the idea. I like the bra as a purse thing. I like that the bra had sort of a clown car feeling to it. Like she could reach in there. It was like the bag that Hermione used when she was traveling with Ron and Harry.
Right.
She could just reach in there and pull out, like, here's a, like one of her
anything could be in it. It was like another Harry Potter reference. It was like it was the bra of requirement.
Exactly.
Whatever she needed, she could reach in there and get it from her cleavage.
Yeah, the kids could have said to her, we were supposed to look something up in an encyclopedia, and she would have looked into her bra and said, what letter?
We love your Aunt Betty, your great Aunt Betty.
Oh, it was Aunt Betty. I was thinking of course it's not her grandmother. Of course it was her aunt. What was I thinking? Well, Tony, these are fabulous aunt stories. Thank you, Nobodies. Thank you, Tony.
Yes, this has kind of become one of my favorite and the only folksy thing that we do on this show. I'm loving the aunt stories. So keep them coming. We'll ask for them more in the future because it seems like there's a bottomless supply. Paula, what's going on in your Poundstone product empire this week?
Well, Adam, Poundstone Industries, also known as Lipstick Nancy Incorporated, is negotiating the twists and turns of the changing business world like a precision driver. The store at paulapoundstone.com is a portal to every cat's happiness because there you can order a Poundstone pussy pillow, a catnip-filled 4-inch by 5-inch pillow with a grommet so you can tie a string to it and drag it around to further entice Fluffy. It has a cat joke on one side and I'll autograph it to your cat on the other side. This just scratches the surface, Adam. But, Heidi...
Oh, yeah, we know. And just to remind everybody, the Starburn Sports simulcast is still going strong. We've been doing me and Jeff Cesario have been covering a different sport just about every week, but baseball's coming back right around the corner. And you can find out all about it by just visiting my Twitter page, at Adam Felber. Sounds exciting, doesn't it?
It does sound exciting.
Subscribe to this podcast. It's free. You'll get it every week at no charge. And if there's a subject or topic you want to know more about, just tell us. We're at nobodylistens@gmail.com, and we will not make you fill out any forms. Once again, that's nobodylistens@gmail.com. No forms necessary. That's our show. Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone is hosted by Paula Poundstone and yours truly, Adam the Felber. Special thanks to our house band, Sophie Taft.
Woo! Yeah.
No thanks to our guest who didn't show up because we disinvited her, Dr. Jones.
Yay!
Our show is produced by Paula Poundstone, Adam Felber, Bonnie Burns, Ken Lezebnik. We love you, Ken, and Toni Anita Hull. Mixing by Michael Hoagie. Burn Stars, production by Land Romo. Transcription services for the show provided by Transcribe Me, a premier internationally used transcription service. Use code Paula Poundstone when placing your order at transcribeme.com to receive an expedited service.
That's our show for tonight. Won't somebody please listen to me? I am so excited about the sports simulcast.
It's pretty exciting stuff.
Oh my gosh. So it's baseball and then talking?
Yes. We. I thought I'd describe this in detail several times. You watch TV, you turn down the sound, and you turn us up.
Mm-hmm. So you guys are playing baseball? You and Jeff Cesario are playing baseball?
No. We're announcing baseball, but in a comedic fashion. And sometimes we do football and basketball. I feel like we've been over this.
Wait a minute. You're announcing baseball, so you go like, "Here's baseball," but it's in a comedic fashion.
No, absolutely not.
So then Jeff goes, "Where, Adam? Where's the baseball? I don't see the baseball." And you go, "Come on, Jeff, it's in your pants. That's the baseball." It's like that.
It's nothing at all like that. I feel like you're funning with me.
No, it's baseball, and you watch it, and you watch you and Jeff play baseball. Do you have uniforms?
No, we don't play baseball. We're the commentators.
Oh. Do you slide? Do you slide into...
We've had a baseball commentator on this show.
Do you ever say to Jeff, "And you're out"?
Well, no, that would be an umpire.
So there's no umpires?
No, there are umpires. Let's just listen to this theme song.
Starburns Audio, a podcast network.